All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to do a little bit more cartooning now. Now, we got a few requests since last time. Godzilla, T-Rex, Popcorn, and Puppy. If I have time, I'll add a little bit more sort of special effects you can do for cartoons that indicate things like shiny objects or sparkles. But let's start with Godzilla and T-Rex. I'm going to kind of combine the two into one. So let's start here. Let's start with the eye. Now, dinosaurs and other lizards, they usually have a ridge over their eye. And it kind of goes like this. It's kind of like a wave. Like that. Now that's the top of their eye, and it's a little thick. So we're going to go put another one right below it. Looks like a little snake. Now, I'm going to finish the eye down and up like that. So it's kind of a teardrop. Now I'm going to make a big eye looking at the person who's drawing. So I kind of fill it in, and you leave a little white in the middle if you want, and it kind of makes it look like the eye is shiny. It looks like there's some light reflecting off the pupil. So now I'm going to start with the snout. I'm going to bring a loop down there, and then a bump at the end, which is the nose. I'm going to put a little dot there to indicate the open nostril. And I'm going to put another one there, which is the nostril behind it. Oh, sorry. So every once in a while I get out of the way. I'm left-handed, so I kind of have to stay on this side of the board. Now remember, when we did our 3/4 view last time, we're going to put another ridge there to indicate he's got an eye on the opposite side as well. Now that eye is looking the other way, so we won't draw that eye. We're just going to draw, it in the background there. Now, I'm going to do this in one sweeping motion because the way I've been drawing now, I've been doing a little bit at a time. But when you start drawing more, you'll realize it's easier to do longer extended lines, and they'll flow a little easier. So here I'm going to go down, up, and down. So a loop down like that. Now that's the beginning of the mouth. His mouth is going to be wide open. Let's do the bottom part of his mouth like that. Now I'm going to teach you a little trick about animals. When they're roaring, their tongue is often drawn coming out of the center of their mouth. Now, you know on your tongue you have this line down your middle of your tongue? I don't even know if you can see me on there. Can you see me on there?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we're going to start with the line in the middle of the tongue, but all it is a line. It's just a line right now. Now, starting at the beginning of the line next to the mouth, but looping over the line, I'm going to make a kind of a teardrop like that. And that's the tongue. Now, let's add some teeth. These are going to be easy. We'll just do some sharp teeth. Like that. And here we can kind of, if you want color, and I kind of am just going to do some lines to indicate the blackness of the inside of his mouth. And now we're going to finish the lower lip here, and it just follows the line of the bottom row of teeth with the lip. And I'm going to extend his head back a little bit like this and go down. He's got this bony, it's kind of like more of a Tyrannosaurus looking head. It's a bone that extends down there. Now, here's a fun part. This is going to be a sweeping, I'm going to sweep down, you don't have to do it yet, and I'm going to sweep down, make his back, and it's going to arch back a little bit, and then I'm going to bring his tail forward. So, you can just watch me first. I'm going to go like this. Now, you're like, what is that? Well, that is his back leading into his tail. And then I'm going to complete the tail here. Now, if you want, you can make it a little thinner at the end, and it gets a little thicker as it gets closer to his body. Now, you know a Tyrannosaurus Rex has kind of stubby little hands. He's got like 2 fingers, basically just these 2 fingers going like that. So let's do the bottom of one of his little tiny hands. I'm going to go down, up. And I'm going to go down, up again to make his little thin arm. And here are the 2 fingers. 1, 2. Now they kind of look like this. I kind of make them a loop and a loop. And you can put claws on them if you want. Now here comes the stomach. I'm going to connect these 2 lines. And before we do the stomach, actually, let's make the leg. Now, here's how I do the dinosaur leg. I bring it out and down like that. It's his knee bending. He's got a big muscle here, and it's kind of like the chicken leg we did before. And then I'm going to bring his foot down here. So his leg goes out that way and that way. And then we're going to finish his stomach. And we're going to do another leg in the back here. Remember how we do that? Now stop right there so you can see the rest of his leg. And then you can fill this in if you want, because this is the shadow of the leg that's behind his first leg. And if you want here, you can do the double effect where it looks like he's got a hand on the other side. You're duplicating that line and duplicating the top of this line. And, you know, there is a giant lizard. You can make him look a little bit more like Godzilla if you put these kind of dorsal fins on the back of him. You can even put one up here, make him look more like a dragon. And there you go. That's kind of like Godzilla T-Rex. You want to make some flames? You kind of make these pointed teardrops. And you can experiment with these. Oh yeah, Sophie.
If you want, can you kind of draw like wings to make it more look like a dragon breathing fire?
Yes. I may add some. It's kind of tough for me to add the wings here.
Yeah, it might be a little.
But maybe I'll add that to the list for next week. Okay, Soph? All right. So there's my version of Godzilla T-Rex. You can also add scales. So scales are basically like little U's. And you can put little U's all around. And sometimes you put 2 U's next to each other and a third U that connects them that makes it look like he's got scales. See? Like that. He looks a little more reptilian. You can add a few circles in there. Kind of bumps. He's got kind of gross warts on him. And there you go. You can add an internal flame here and color it a different color to make it look like he's breathing fire. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second and then I'll show you something else. All right, next on the requests. Well, I'll do the popcorn real quick. Someone requested popcorn. Now, popcorn is pretty easy.
Who it was.
Who's that?
It was Amelia.
It was Amelia.
She
Okay.
really wanted popcorn because.
Okay. Well, I'll show you how to do. In fact, I can show you how to do a cloud and a piece of popcorn at the same time because they're very similar.
Dad, why do you need a cloud? Oh.
A cloud. I'm going to start with a cloud, and then we'll show how you can turn a cloud into a piece of popcorn pretty easily. So the cloud involves a bunch of like upside down U's, kind of like these bumps. Now I'll show you. A lot of times when people draw clouds, they start off, they kind of go like this, and they make a big circle, which is fine. But if you want a cloud to look puffier, you do that and stop halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm stopping. Then what you do is you pick a spot on the side of this partial cloud. Say I'm going to start here. And I do it again and keep working my way around. I go whoop, 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 like that. And then I stop before I finish. And then I pick another spot here, not at the end, but somewhere here. And I can make some big loops and finish it there. And that makes the cloud look like it has a little more fluffiness to it. And you can even add a couple more parts of cloud there. Now, a piece of popcorn is basically this, but just smaller. I mean, I think you'd go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and, you know, make a little piece of popcorn like that. You can make a bowl of popcorn. Here's the top of the bowl. Here's the bowl. And just add a bunch of pieces. You want to do the pieces on top first. See? And then the ones underneath, because the ones on top are going to cover the ones underneath. So you can do that. And you can even make, this is one of those special effects I was telling you about. Oh, it's a steaming hot bowl of popcorn. You kind of make this soft, wiggly line going up, and then duplicate it on the side. Fresh popcorn. Now, a puppy. I got a request. Oh, yes, Sophie.
I requested the puppy.
You requested the puffy? Okay, well, definitely going to do the...
It's not a puffy, it's a puppy.
Okay, yeah, I had puffy on my mind.
Because Mom has you probably got the name because of Mom's stuffed animal that she had. That was a kid that was named Puffy.
That might be it. Okay, so here we'll do a puppy. Let's see. Now, a lot of times when cartoonists draw dogs, they draw dogs with the floppy long ears. So let's do that. I'm going to start here, put a big kind of, it looks kind of like a sock, and bring it up like that. That's his long ear. Yeah. Davis was asking to be excused, and I said, no, this is part of the curriculum. So here's the ear that flops down. And then what I'm going to do is, like we did with the dinosaur, let's make a cap here and a curved line that reflects it a little bit below. And then let's finish it off here. And that's the eye of the dog. And again, I'm going to make an eyeball here. I'm going to keep the middle a little white dot. I'm not going to fill that in because it looks like a reflection. And I can just connect his ear there. Now, I'm going to do a dog nose. Now, the way I do the dog nose is I do kind of a triangle. I go up, over, down, like that. Now, it's kind of like, maybe like a piece of pizza. It, you know, goes curves up a little, curves down, and forms sort of a curvy-sided triangle. And that's the nose. Now, the nose you can also color in like the pupil with a little circle left in the middle to show it's a wet, shiny nose. Okay. Now, let's connect the nose to this part of the upper eyebrow. Like that. We're going to do, again, the little ridge here that reflects the eye on the opposite side of his head. Now, you know, with animals, where their nose, the bottom of their nose ends, is usually where they've got this line that separates, you know, the two rounder parts of their snout. So here, watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the middle of the eye, of the nose here. I'm the middle of the nose. I'm going to go down and up like that. Now, I do that because his snout is going to be split in two, and the dividing line is indicated by the bottom of the nose. Now, again, like we do so often, I'm going to reflect the opposite side of his snout like this. See? So that's the opposite side of his snout. Now, I can make him kind of, I'll keep his mouth closed this time. I'm going to put a little, awesome, bud. I'm going to put a little, sort of the end of his smirk or smile. You know, there's this little part of your mouth that kind of curves. That's what that is. And I'm just going to draw his chin now. I'm going to go down and up like that. Now, we'll do some, if he's a puppy, we're going to make some short, stubby legs. I'm going to do, let's go like that. Now I've started, I've made the leg thinner in the top than the bottom, because at the bottom here, we're going to put some paws, and we're going to have to leave room for the paws. Now, here's how I do the paws. I go like this, kind of like a cloud, like this, and like this. Kind of makes his paw look a little puffy. So it's sort of like the cloud, but it's got, you know, an indication of 3 sort of fingers of his paw. I'll put the beginning of his tummy there, as we usually do. We kind of do the line that reflects this line that indicates the legs on the other side. I'll close that here. Now, a dog leg, again, is kind of like the dinosaur leg, kind of like a chicken wing, but maybe a skinnier chicken wing. We're going to leave this part open here because we're not going to fill that because that's attached to his body. We're going to kind of make a top of the meaty part of a chicken wing. And then the back of his feet are kind of a little bit longer than his back paws are a little bit longer than his front paws. So I've kind of just elongated this. I know it's a little tricky. Now I'm going to close his stomach there. And I'm going to loop up his back and give him a little tail like that. And you can color his tail in or loop something up like that. Kind of like that. And then if you want, you can give him a few dots on each side of his snout. And you can also duplicate the back leg and shade it in. And there's a puppy. We can even, I use this, when I do these lines like this, it's a way of indicating color or shading without having to color the whole thing in. So I do these straight lines across all the way down, and I'm going to show you something called cross-hatching. If you have these lines going one way and then you make a series of lines going perpendicular to them, like this, you'll indicate cross-hatching. Now, if you want to also put his other ear on the other side, kind of like that. Okay, so let's see how much time we've got. Now, with just a few minutes we have left, just a few more minutes, bud, relax. I'm going to show you a few special effects techniques, and then we'll call it a day. But I'll pause the video now. Okay, in the last few minutes, let me just show you a few more little special effects. First one is called a zip line, and this is related to the cloud. So I'm just going to draw a stick figure here who's running. Now you don't even, I mean, you can draw this if you'd like, but I have him running. Now the zip cloud is, you see it in Roadrunner cartoons a lot. There's going to be a thing that indicates that he is running fast. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a cloud that is open. Because, you know, a lot of times the phrase is leaving people in the dust. Like if you zip, if you're running really fast.
Like you're running like dirt and then the dirt's just popping up.
Right. The dirt, you're running so fast, you're leaving this cloud of dust behind you. So here, I'm going to open the cloud like that. That's going to be one part of the cloud. I'm going to, you remember how we did the cloud before? Like that? Or the popcorn kind of looks the same. Now here are the zip lines. And they kind of start heavy here and fade out closer toward the runner. Now here I'm going to finish the cloud, but I'm not going to go through the lines. I'm going to continue the lines back here. And I may even put another cloud back here. And then one more tiny cloud in the distance. And it kind of looks like this guy is zipping from far away to close. Good job, bud. Good job. And then sometimes you can put lines here to indicate additional motion. So another thing is shininess. Here's another special effect. I'm going to draw an apple. It's kind of like a heart, but it's kind of rounded at the bottom. Here's the stem, and here's the leaf. All right, but here's what I want to show you. A lot of times when you want to indicate something that's shiny in a cartoon, this technique, I think, started when people were drawing windows, the reflection of windows on shiny objects. And this is all it is. You just draw a square off center, not in the center of the apple, but to the side of the apple. You draw a square, and then you just do a plus sign in the middle that makes it look like it's a little window. And people just understand that is indicating a reflection. So you color this apple in red, you leave this part white, and it looks like the apple is shiny. Similarly, I'll try to draw a ring here. I'll draw like a diamond ring, okay? Here's the diamond. Now, if you want to make it look like it's sparkling, you can make these little stars around it. I'll draw one over here. Way down, a little bit over. Way down, a little bit over. Back in, all the way down. Back in, all the way down. And you draw these around the diamond ring, and it makes it look like it's sparkling. Well, there you go. I guess, those are a few special effects tips for this week. And we're going to sign off and let the kids do whatever they want. But before we do, can we see your items? So this is Davis and Sophie's version.
Only show these two, okay?
Okay. Here's Davis's Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here's Davis's dog and popcorn bowl and cloud. And he even made the dog running. See how you can add that zip line to anything you want to make it look like the thing is running? Here's Sophie's. Oh, there's her Tyrannosaurus. Wow, he looks hungry. And
I am right now.
You are right now. And here's Sophie's puppy. Very nice. Anyway,
Okay.
I hope you had fun this week, and we'll see you later.